Is this good, guys?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to start now.
Sounds good.
OK. Bonjour. Bonjour, je m'appelle Nancy Zemmel. Je suis la directrice études et vie étudiante. Merci de nous joindre aujourd'hui. Et je voudrais présenter mes collègues Josina Rota, Leanne Barsky, Ginny Park et Astrid Chmachkin. Nous vous demandons de rester mute pendant cette session et n'hésitez pas de déactiver votre vidéo. Please feel free to ask your questions through the chat. We will be monitoring the chat and we're going to respond to questions at the end. We'll have a few minutes for a Q&A at the end of the session. The session will be recorded and we'll be posting it on the Student Affairs Office website. We'll send out a link probably in the next issue of the Ask. I also want to let you know that later today we'll be sending out an email regarding the Law Peer Tutor Program, which will be starting up. And the email will introduce you to our 3 tutors, as well as providing you with information on how to sign up for sessions. The sessions are going to start next week on November 23rd. And now I'd like to turn this over to Josina Rota, our Student Affairs Consultant and Manager of Examinations. She'll walk through the presentation. Josie.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the exam information session for first-year students. So just before we get started, I'd like to ask you how you're feeling today. And if you could put it in the chat. So one word on how you're feeling today. And then we're going to move on to 2 poll questions. One is I'd like to know what year you're in and also what kind of device you have, whether it's a Mac or PC window. So Ginny, whenever you're ready for the poll, and then we'll get started.
Wow, we have a lot of first year.
Yeah, so well,
today.
This is a information session mostly for first year, but we also have some upper year students and some LLM students as well. So thank you for joining us. And I see most of you have a Mac as a device, okay? But you PC window device holders will not be forgotten regarding this. So we'll get started. I just wanted to see, Ginny, what's happening, or Astrid, what's happening in the chat? How are people feeling today?
A lot of people are overwhelmed, tired,
isolated. Yeah, hungry.
Miserable. Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Drowning, stressed.
all of the above.
A lot of overwhelmed.
Right, we have 93% voted in, so I will close the poll now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, well, for those students who are feeling all of those things, just a reminder that we're here for you. Email us, book an appointment. I'm going to talk about this later, about our wellness advisors as well. We have 2. We're very lucky, Shrabani and Helene. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here today, but definitely if you're having those feelings, reach out to them, make an appointment. I will share the link on how to book an appointment with them. I'll also share a link on how to book an appointment with myself, Nancy, and Ginny. And when in doubt, if you need to talk to someone, or send us an email to sao.law@mcgill.ca, and we'll get in touch as soon as possible. So we'll get started. Ginny, do I close the poll?
I did. I did
okay,
close the
sorry.
poll. Yeah.
Please forgive me. This is really the first time I'm doing information session via Zoom. So everything is a little bit new. So, okay, here we go. So welcome first years and upper years and LLMs to the exam information session. Following are the topics that we're going to cover today. So we're just going to get started. We're going to talk about student support. So like I mentioned, we're here for you. If you need to book an appointment with myself, with Ginny, Ginny is the first year advisor. If you have questions about exams, or if Ginny's unavailable, you could always book an appointment with myself or with Nancy. The Student Affairs Office continues to work remotely from home. So email is really the best way to get in touch with us. So I provide the link to book an appointment with us, or you can send an email to sao.law@mcgill.ca. Students with temporary or permanent disabilities who require accommodation for exams, you need to meet with an access advisor to determine your eligible accommodation. So you need to go through the Office of Student with Disabilities. If you are registered with OSD, you should use the sign-up form for your final exams. OSD accommodations may be applied to other academic assessments, such as your final papers and obviously your exams. J'aimerais vous rappeler des conflits d'examen. Donc, si vous avez un conflit d'horaire ou si vous avez un conflit de fuseau horaire, envoyez-nous un courriel sao.law@mcgill.ca et nous allons we'll come up with a reasonable accommodation, especially for those students who are in a different time zone. So let's move on to academic accommodations. So during your degree, you may experience some personal situations that prevent you from writing your exam or submitting your paper, or even completing a course. We have policies and procedures in place to help you. Again, if you have barriers that are temporary or permanent, seek a meeting with an academic, with an academic advisor at the OSD. And if you need emotional support, book an appointment with one of our wellness advisors. So here we have some personal circumstances that may require you to request an extension or a deferral or part-time studies, leave of absence withdrawal. So parenting issues, religious observance, health issues, whether it's mental health or physical, death of a family member or close relationship. So these are types of extenuating circumstances, personal, that may prevent you from submitting on time. So you can request for an extension by completing the web form prior to the deadline of the term essay or final paper. Deferral is a deferral for an exam, so you can submit a deferral request web form prior to or within 24 hours of the exam. If you require part-time studies, leave of absence, or thinking of withdrawing from the program, I encourage you to make an appointment with our Director of Student Life and Learning, Nancy Zemmel. And of course, you can always reach out to myself or Ginny Park, Advisor for Upper Year. So for the approval process, you will be required to provide supporting documentation with your request, and we will notify you once your request has been processed. Si vous avez besoin de plus d'informations, vous pouvez toujours nous envoyer un courriel ou visiter notre site Internet sous le sous-titre Academic Accommodations. So let's get started and talk about the different types of exams remotely at the Faculty of Law. So one of the type of exam is the fixed take-home exam via remote Exemplify. I'm not going to go into too much detail as your December exams do not require you to download Exemplify, but I just wanted you to be aware because your April exams may require you to download Exemplify. So pre-COVID, Exemplify is used for traditional in-class sit-down final exam. The exam questionnaire is available for download at a specific date and time and has fixed duration. And students must download, obviously, the Exemplify software, which disables the students' access to the internet. The exam questionnaire is available for download within Exemplify. So this is in the remote setting. Pre-COVID, you would receive the exam questionnaire paper copy in the classroom. So moving along to the
Sorry,
take-home-
Josie.
Yes.
I'm sorry. We've had a request if there's any way to make the screen, your slide bigger.
Oh. Hold on. Is this better?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
good.
Okay.
Thank you.
No worries. Okay, so we're going to move on to take-home exams administered through ExamSoft. So the first type of take-home exam is the fixed take-home exam, where the exam questionnaire is available for download starting at a specific date and time. The exam file must be uploaded by the specific date and time as determined by the examiner and indicated on the examination cover sheet. So as an example, for first year students, this is your extra contractual obligation exam. So it's available for download on a specific date, which is December 10 at 9:30 a.m. and it's due December 10 at 3:30 p.m. This exam has a set duration of 6 hours. So I'd like to remind you for take-home exams, and I'm going to be repeating this, the countdown clock begins as soon as you download your questionnaire. And if you experience problems uploading your take-home exam on the ExamSoft website, we ask you to email your completed exam to saoassignments.law@mcgill.ca. So the reason why I'm saying this is because when you have a fixed take-home exam, everybody is downloading at 9:30 a.m. and everybody is uploading their exam at 3:30 or 3:25. So there'll be 180 of you more or less uploading your exams. So there might be some delays with ExamSoft. So if you do experience those, we do encourage you to send it to saoassignments.law@mcgill.ca. That way it'll be date and time stamped that you've submitted on time. I'd also like to mention, especially for first year students, upper year students may already know this, but it's always a good reminder. You're only permitted to submit once. ExamSoft only allows you one upload, and it's your initial submission that will be forwarded for grading. So we'll move along to the flexible take-home exam. This is where the questionnaire is available for download from the first day to the last day of the examination period and can be completed at any time. So an example of this is your Indigenous Legal Tradition exam. So it's available as of December 8th at 9 a.m. and it's due December 22nd at 3 p.m. It can be completed at any time during this period, and it doesn't have a designated duration. Again, if you're having problems uploading, you know where to email it, and it's only your initial submission that will be forwarded for grading.
Sorry, Josie, you need to flip your screen. Next.
Sorry?
Yeah, next page. You need to flip your PowerPoint to the next page. We're not seeing the right page.
This one? No. This
No.
one here?
No, you're not flipping on screen.
Sorry, please be patient with me. This one, is it okay now?
No.
No. Anybody? Okay, so if I go this way, do you guys see it? Is it changing?
No.
No.
Okay, what am I doing wrong?
Try restarting the share.
Okay. Okay. Now?
Yeah, it's just
It's frozen. It's not changing screens.
it's spinning.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm terribly sorry. We're experiencing some technical difficulties.
There you.
Sorry, Ginny.
I see your slides now.
Okay, can I?
Try
if I go-
It's working now.
It's working?
Yeah.
It's gone to Indigenous legal tradition?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
so now we'll move on to the flexible timed take-home exam. So do you see?
No, go back and redo the.
Okay. Okay, so we'll just go back for the different types of take-home exams through the ExamSoft portal. So this is the fixed take-home exam where the questionnaire is available for download starting at a specific date and time. The exam answer file must be uploaded by a specific date and time as determined by the examiner and indicated on the examination cover page. So an example is your extra contractual obligation. It's available for download on a specific date, which is December 10 at 9:30 a.m. and is due December 10 at 3:30 p.m. This exam has a set duration of 6 hours. So I don't know if you caught this, but if you're having issues uploading your exam on ExamSoft, email it to us at saoassignments.law. I'd also like to remind you that the countdown clock begins as soon as the examination request questionnaire is downloaded. I'd also like to mention that only your initial submission will be forwarded for grading. So we'll move on to the second type of take-home exam, which is the flexible take-home exam. The questionnaire is available for download from the first day to the last day of the examination period and can be completed at any time. An example is your Indigenous Legal Tradition exam, which is available for download December 8 at 9 a.m. and is due December 22nd at 3 p.m. It could be completed at any time during this period, and the examination has no designated duration. Again, you have issues uploading, you send it to saoassignment.law, and only the initial submission will be forwarded for grading. The final type of take-home exam is the flexible take-home exam. Most common, this type of exam is used by upper year instructors for their final exams. So you will, at first years, you will have these in later years. For those upper year students and LLM students, you may have a flexible time take home. So here the examination questionnaire is available from download from the first day to the last day of the examination period. You decide when you want to download the exam questionnaire within the examination period. The only difference here is that the examination has a designated duration. So it could be either a 6 hour, 8 hour, 24-hour exam, and this is set by the examiner. Again, the countdown begins as soon as the examination questionnaire is downloaded. Students must upload their examination answer file within the exam designated duration as specified on the examination cover page. And the last day and time to upload a completed exam is December 22nd at 5 p.m. So if you have, let's say, banking law, if you're taking banking law and it's a 6 hour take-home exam and you're like, I'm going to do this on the last day on December 22nd, which is fine. You just need to work your way backwards because from December 2nd. So you need to download the exam no later than 11 a.m. so that you can make sure to submit your completed exam by 5 p.m. On the 22nd. That is the deadline. Again, as I mentioned, it's these types of exam are more common with upper year. Again, if you're experiencing issues uploading, you email it to saoassignments.law@McGill, and only the initial submission will be forwarded for grading. So now I'm gonna pass it along to my colleague Ashrit. She's just going to talk about an ExamSoft timing issue that you may have questions about. Ashrid?
Yes, thanks, Josie. Hi, everyone. So I'll be presenting this following slide. Please be mindful of the following information. So there is a minor ExamSoft glitch. It's not a major glitch. I'll give you a bit of a context. So basically, when you log into your ExamSoft account, you go to courses, you select the take-home exam you're about to do. You'll be prompted to this page. So you'll see it's a pretty simple, straightforward page with two buttons. Actually, they're both named Action. So the first one, which is blue, the blue Action button, that's where you're going to download your exam questionnaire. So most importantly, once you click that button, the start time of your exam will begin. The most important thing that you will notice, and this is where I will mention about this minor glitch. So if your exam, it's a 4-hour exam and you start your exam at 9 a.m., technically you're supposed to submit by 1 p.m. But you'll see right beside the orange button Action, you'll see there's 3 hours remaining. So you'll see it doesn't take into account the minutes. So you should have 3 hours and 59 minutes remaining, but it just says 3 hours remaining. So what you have to focus on, and what I highly suggest you to do, is where you see upload due date, you'll see the date and the time where you're supposed to submit and upload your exam answer. So once you're ready to submit your exam answer, you go on the orange button Action, you click on it, then you make sure you select the correct file because you have only one chance to upload your exam answer. And once you upload it, you'll see under upload date and upload file name, the date and the name of your file indicated. And that's where you'll know you successfully uploaded your exam answer. So again, what you have to focus is the upload due date. So if it's a 4-hour exam and it's due at 1 p.m., you'll see you have to submit within that deadline according to the time indicated on your screen. So don't be afraid of the 3 hours remaining. That's the minor ExamSoft glitch. And another important thing is that if you experience any technical issues, it's better to submit your exam within the deadline. So as Josie mentioned, to please submit your exam via the SAO assignments.law email, and we'll take care of it from there. So that's pretty much it. Thanks, Josie.
Thank you, Astrid. Okay, so as Astrid mentioned, so donc pendant l'examen, si vous avez des difficultés, envoyez-nous un courriel. Donc, si vous avez de la difficulté à soumettre votre examen sur ExamSoft, vous pouvez l'envoyer à SAO Assignments. Mais si vous avez vraiment des difficultés qui sont par rapport au téléchargement, vous pouvez nous envoyer un courriel à sao.law@mcgill.ca dans le sujet écrit urgent et nous allons vous écrire aussitôt. Mais si vous avez vraiment des problèmes avec ExamSoft, que ça ne vous permet pas de cliquer sur le bouton comme Astrid vous a montré, ExamSoft a une ligne de support 24 heures par jour, 7 jours semaine. La seule chose dont vous avez besoin, c'est votre McGill ID. Donc, vous pouvez leur envoyer un courriel ou vous pouvez les appeler sans frais. So students won't be penalized for technical issues. So again, we remind you if there's something happening with your ExamSoft, like the wheel is turning or it's frozen, send us a quick email to sao.law with urgent, or if you prefer, you can call the ExamSoft support line 24 hours 7. We spoke with our ExamSoft rep. They said they're ready. They have a full team weekends and evenings, so don't hesitate. And just make sure you have your McGill ID number on hand. So whatever Astrid showed, that screen that Astrid showed you may have been like, oh, what is this? Have no fear. The SAO is having computerized information sessions next week, 30 minutes. We have 7 that are specific for first-year students. We also have a few for upper year and some for LLM. Visit our website. We have the dates and times along with the Zoom link. So drop in, come and see us on Zoom, and we'll walk you through the process. We'll do mocks with you and answer any questions that you may have that are unique to you. So under no circumstance should students contact instructors in relation to their examination. So if you have a question about your December exams, ask your instructors now. I mean, the week before, or, you know, as of December 1st, we really discourage you to, or rather once classes have ended, we really do discourage you to contact your instructors, mainly because we don't want you to compromise your anonymity. During the exam, we ask you not to discuss the exam with your instructor or any other instructor for that matter. If you have questions, please reach out to us and we will communicate with your instructor. After the exam, so until grades have been released, contact the SAO for any related matters or concerns about your particular exam. So now we're going to talk about exam codes. I know a lot of first-year students may be confused about these because your December exams are kind of like your midterm exams. But here at the Faculty of Law, for anonymity, we have midterm exam codes, which are 4-digit term specific, so they change every term, to be used for your midterm exams and midterm take-homes. Then we have final exams, which are alpha term specific, to be used during your final examinations. So first year students, this is what you're going to be using for your December exams. These codes are used for all exams and are used to maintain anonymity. Students are cautioned to maintain the confidentiality of their exam codes. Again, as I mentioned, first year students use their final exam codes to identify their December examinations. The codes are available on Minerva. If you have issues locating them, please email us. We'll be happy to walk you through it. If you drop into one of the exam clinics, we'll be happy to show you where you can find this information. If you can't see it, we'll help you. Your exam code is your, so finally, what's important about your exam code is that it's your password for ExamSoft and Exemplify. So first year students and upper year students, it'll be a 4 alpha code, which you see here. So AAAA, and your password will be prefaced by law. So law AAAA. Now for LLM students, your exam code will be different. Your exam code will be prefaced by GR for grad. So it'll be GRAAAA, and therefore your password will be law GRAAAA. Also to mention, it's case sensitive, so your exam code will need to be in caps, and law will need to be in minuscule. So continue. So that's the information regarding exam codes. I'm going to pass it along to Director of Student Life and Learning, Nancy Zemmel, and she's going to be talking to you about first year midterm grades.
Yeah, I'm noticing some questions popping up in the chat. And so maybe if we can go back a little bit, Josie, and just explain that ExamSoft is a website that you will log into in order to access your exam questionnaire, whereas Exemplify is a software that you would download on your laptop. So just to reiterate what Josie had mentioned earlier, for 1Ls, you are only going to log into ExamSoft, the website, in order to access your exam questionnaire, which you can download into a Word or a PDF document and type up your exam using Word. And then you're going to save that Word document, go back to ExamSoft and upload your completed exam. Whereas Exemplify or remote, the version of Exemplify we're using in this remote setting, is one that you log into the software. So again, it's a software you must download onto your laptop. You log into that software and you write your exam within the software. At the end, when you must submit it, it will automatically be sent back to the website ExamSoft, where the SAO staff will go in and download the questionnaires in order to save them as a zip file and send to your instructors for grading. So I hope that's a little bit clearer about the difference between ExamSoft and Exemplify. And to go back to your exam code, so the exam code that you must use, so all students have a distinct exam code that they must use in order to protect their anonymity. So the Faculty of Law has an anonymous grading system where your instructor doesn't know your identity when grading your final exam. So again, you access your code through Minerva. And when you go on there, you go to your student menu, click on the registration menu, and then check your registration eligibility, where you will verify your curriculum page, and you will see there what your Faculty of Law exam code is. So I hope, again, that's a little bit more clear, that, again, you're not using your name, you're not using your McGill ID number. You must use this specific exam code when you are writing an exam on ExamSoft and Exemplify. Hope that's a little bit more clear. And we can answer any more questions. Again, like I said, at the end of the session, we'll have an opportunity to do a Q&A.
Right.
So now,
yeah. So, and these, sorry, I just wanted to add in the exam code, it's term specific, so it'll change. You'll for the April exams, you will have a new final exam code. So Nancy, for first year midterm grades.
yes, so first year midterm grades, students, you'll have access to see your midterm grades, so your grades just for the fall term on My Courses. There's going to be a 2-week period in January where you can see your grades, and they'll be posted on, your instructors will post them on My Courses. Note that December exams, as Josie said, is your midterm grades. So they're not final grades, they're midterm grades, and they only appear on My Courses. They will not appear on your student transcript on Minerva at this time. Typically, we don't provide a letter or any confirmation outlining your midterm grades that you received. However, if you have particular reasons for needing this information, just send a notice to sao.law and we'll respond accordingly. Advanced standing students who are thinking about recruitment, you again reach out to the Student Affairs Office and we'll handle your questions there. Final grades, so at the end of the winter term, you will receive final grades, which will appear on your student transcript and accessible through Minerva. Again, typically that's in May. So if I can, the Faculty of Law has what we call a Marks meeting. There will be a Marks meeting in January, I think it's January 15th, where the faculty will approve all grades. And after that point is when grades become available. The same thing in May. I don't recall the date in May. I think it's like May 13th, where faculty again will have another Marks meeting, and that's when your final grades are released on Minerva. If you can do next screen. If I can, so instructors, again, I noticed a question go by. If I can, professors typically have 2 weeks to do their grading. So you can appreciate that exams end December 22nd. We're back in, although I just saw an email go out from the provost office, so I'm not quite sure when we're back in for the winter term. But Faculty Council will do final grade approval on January 13th or 15th. Josie, do you recall?
Sorry, so say that again. The
The Faculty Council Marks meeting is January 15th.
Yes, January 15,
It's January 15.
January
Yeah.
15, and then
Thank you.
May 15 for the
For
winter
the
term.
winter term. Yeah,
Yeah.
so your grades will appear on January 15th. You know, the last day of exams, as I said, is December 22nd. Most of your instructors will be grading over the holidays. So there needs to be a little bit of work done once they're back up and running and submitting their final grades. All grades are reviewed by the Exam and Evaluation Committee to make sure they're in adherence to our grading guidelines, which I'll get to right now. So first year midterm grades and all grades. So even though I'm talking specific to the 1Ls in their December midterm grades, even for upper years and the LLMs, final grades, this is how they're assessed. There's a little bit difference for graduate students, but I'll start with the BCL JD program first. So these are your grades. Compulsory courses, so required courses. The passing grade is a C or higher. Failing grades are a D and an F. Your complementary or your common and civil law baskets and your law elective courses, the passing grades are you know, a minimum of a D, and F is a failing grade. And you can see on the left hand, well, my left hand, might be your right hand, are the GPAs for the letter grades. But the Faculty of Law, we grade by letter grades only. And so that's where you can see the grades. If you want to go to the next screen, then I can talk a little bit more about the grading policy. If I can, for graduate students, LLM students, your minimum passing grade is a B minus. Anything lower than a B minus is a fail. So I can talk about the grading policy, which does apply to well, if I can go back a little bit. So as I mentioned, a faculty council has marks meetings where we, the faculty will approve all final grades. And in doing so, they ensure that the grading policy is adhered to. And the faculty, we do not have a curve. I know many of you think we do, or there has been discussions or shared information saying the faculty imposes a curve. We do not. It is more of a range rather than a curve. And what it really is that there's a class average. And so instructors need to grade towards a class average. And for upper year courses that are 25, have an enrollment size of 24 or more, must typically grade to a B class average. And small upper year courses, which typically have an enrollment of 24 or less, grade towards a B or a B plus. For first year courses, your class average is typically between a B minus and a B. And again, you know, this is to ensure fairness and consistency and transparency across the board. Class averages do appear on the student transcript for courses that are 25, that have an enrollment of 25 and higher. So that's why this is also another reason why we have this grading policy, is so that when you know, individuals are looking at a transcript, they see a class average as well as your grade and can do a comparative. And at McGill, a B is a very good grade. So that's why the tendency is to grade towards a class average of a B. So while individual assignments, quizzes, and examinations may be easier or more difficult, the faculty expects that teaching courses to ensure that average grade over the semester falls within those ranges. So again, it's not a curve, but it is within a range, and it is based on a class average. You want to do next screen? Academic integrity. So given the remote situation that we're all living in, and for final exams, there is an expectation that students are still following within the academic integrity. You should have all, by this time, have completed the online academic integrity tutorial that's available. And this is to ensure that you understand the expectation of academic integrity. as well as, what the implications can be vis-a-vis the Code of Student Conduct and disciplinary procedures if found in violation of academic integrity. And so really what this means, and it will be on your exam, one thing I can say, when you do get your exam questionnaire, make sure you take the time to read the cover page. Don't skip over the exam cover page and go right into the exam. Really take the time to read it. There are important information on that cover page, including the duration or how long you should be writing your exam. Sometimes instructors will indicate format particulars, word count, and so forth. So really take the moment to read that cover page. And it will also highlight that your exams are supposed to be independent, right? It's an independent work. It is to demonstrate your knowledge in the course. It is not to be shared and discussed amongst your colleagues. So there should be no communicating with each other during the exam. You should not be divulging the contents of the exam to anyone who may be writing the exam afterwards or at the same time. And it's really important that this is, you're submitting your own work and that it's not a collaboration with your colleagues. There have been instances in the past where we have, unfortunately, been able to determine whether or not there is sharing of answers, plagiarism, cheating, so forth. So this is the Faculty of Law. We do take academic integrity very seriously. So make sure that, again, I can't say it enough, read that exam cover page, and it will be clear that the work is to be your own and not one that you're collaborating with other individuals. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Yes, very important, that cover page. Like Nancy said, there's a lot of important information there. Again, the duration of your exam. Instructors do put like word limit, that they want their document to be saved as a PDF or as a Word document. So yes, when you download your exam, do take a few minutes to go over the cover page. Very important what Nancy said about that. So we'll move on to our wellness advisors. Again, we're very lucky at the Faculty of Law to have two local wellness advisors from the Student Wellness Hub who work as mental health professionals. So if you need to reach out to them, please do. You can book an appointment with them. The link is here. These are a few tips for the exam season. Take your breaks, attend to your basic needs, keep things in perspective, check your unhelpful thoughts, and do reach out. If you want to reach out to Shrabani or Helene, do so through the Wellness Hub appointment programming link here, or you can reach out to myself or anyone at the SAO, and we'll put you in touch with either with them or with someone at the Wellness Hub. So now we'll move on to the question period. I know I see in the chat a lot of you have a lot of questions about ExamSoft and the exam codes. So I'll open it up. If any of you feel comfortable to turn on your screen or your mic to ask your questions, we'll be happy to answer your questions.
I think Ginny may run through the current chat.
Okay.
To pick out any questions, and then we can see if there are a few more after that.
Okay.
Ginny, are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, sure. You want me to go from the beginning, right?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. So I try to answer a little bit, and I saw Nancy also answering a bit. I shared the link to the advising appointment there. I'm just gonna scroll through here.
I can reiterate, I did notice one go by about the minimum grades. So again, for a required course, so all of the first year courses are all required. and the passing grade is a C or higher. A D or an F is a fail. For for law electives, where you have a choice of courses you want to take for law electives, the minimum passing grade is a D. And that's the same for what we call basket courses, or your complementary courses. So those common law, civil law, human rights, and Indigenous social diversity, and your Canadian admin. Again, the minimum passing grade is a D.
So I see a lot in the chat. I think students are confused about Exemplify and ExamSoft. So first year students, you do not need to download Exemplify for your December exams. You will be using the website ExamSoft to go and download your exam. So depending on whether it's a fixed take-home exam or a flexible, that's the portal that you'll be using. Also, what I saw about, there was a question about, sorry about that. Okay, so don't download it. I know when you log into ExamSoft, the first thing you see on the left side is to download. That is for Exemplify. So first year students, if you do not need, for your December exams to download Exemplify. I just wanted to, I did mention it, I brought it up because again, in April for the final exams, you may have an Exemplify type exam. So Ginny, I leave it to you.
Yeah, so I was just scrolling through the chat box, and I think a lot of them you answered throughout your presentation. And there was just a lot of conversation also in the chat box, so it's a bit confusing to go through them. But there was also a question about, will the support line in French as well? Can students ask questions in French if they call Exemplify or ExamSoft?
Unfortunately not. It is a US company, so their 24/7 support line will only be in English. So if that's the case, if you do have something urgent, then please reach out to the SAO and we will assist you directly.
So I saw a question go by. If you're not able to download your exam on ExamSoft, I mean, you could technically call ExamSoft, but I mean, especially if it's after hours, I mean, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. But otherwise, please email the SAO, urgent, cannot download exam. I mean, you know, if you planned on writing, well, I mean, especially, you know, if you're doing extra contractual obligations on December 10, you know, and it's 9:30 and you're not able to download it, I mean, email us right away. And, you know, we don't want to waste time trying to figure out what the problem is. We'll probably end up emailing you the exam so that you can have the allocated time to complete it. I mean, don't worry if we email it to you at 9:10, sorry, at 9:40, you will be able to submit at 3:40, but email us directly. Will be, it'll be quicker for you to get your exam in that particular scenario.
I also want to stress, in addition to the exam clinics, which I urge you all to please attend, sign up and attend one of the exam clinics. You will be given mock exams. And Josie, maybe you want to talk a little bit about mock exams and how that gives student the opportunity to do a trial run.
Yeah, definitely. So you want to go and so log in with your McGill ID. Actually, if I'll end the screen here, and what I'll do is I'll pull up ExamSoft. I'll share the ExamSoft screen this way. You can all follow along. And I mean, and this is what we'll do at the exam clinics, is just walk you through it. So can you see this?
Mhm.
Can you see the McGill University Faculty of Law? Okay, so here you'll put your McGill ID and then your password, which is law, followed by your alpha exam code in caps. And you log in. And this is what I was talking about here, where it says install and register for Exemplify. So our first year students, you don't need to download here. So what you'll do is you'll go to courses, and here you'll see the take home mock take home exam. So you click on this. You'll have the download instruction assignment where you can download it. Okay, so I think I did that one. So let's do number 2. So here we go. So download instructions. So action, download. You download your take home exam. Here we go. So these are really the instructions on how to download an exam. So you'll have your exam here. Make sure you download it on your desktop or your documents, and you remember where you downloaded, final exam, eco, or legal traditions. Just remember where you save it. Then what I urge you to do is to log out of ExamSoft, go work on your exam. I always say this every year, 5 to 10 minutes before your exam is due, log back into ExamSoft, because remember, there are 180 of you, or maybe a little bit more, logging in at the same time, uploading the exam. So the ExamSoft may be a little bit slow. And when you're ready to upload, you go back to your mock take-home exam, action to upload, browse. In my case, I just have my daughter's Mission Antarctique project that she did. So I'll upload that, and then you'll receive the confirmation here. You have successfully uploaded the file. You exit, and then here, this is what Astrid was talking about. It'll tell you the time that you've uploaded, so when you submitted your exam. So if it's due at 2 p.m., it's 1:57 p.m., you've submitted on time. You could always go back and look at this date, just in case. And as you can see, you can't re-upload. So make sure when it's time to upload your exam, you're uploading the correct exam. And another thing that I may have forgotten to mention is when you save your completed exam, it's important that you save it with your exam code. So ABCD _ extra contractual obligation _ whoever your instructor for ECO is. If it's Corey, you could put her last name, or if it's another instructor. So make sure that you upload the final version of your completed exam, because as I mentioned, it's only the first submission that will be forwarded for final grading.
There's a couple of questions in the chat,
Yep.
Joseph, if you get
Go
a chance
ahead.
to take a look at. So some of them are not seeing what you've shown on the screen. There seems to be a little bit difference. Again, when I talked about the exam cover page, format, so whether or not you're uploading a Word file or a PDF, typically your instructor will indicate the version that they wish to have uploaded. And whether or not it should be a Word or a PDF. If there is nothing identified on the exam, submit it by Word.
Correct. So let me take a look here, the type of, I'm terribly sorry for those of you who are not able to see the ExamSoft webpage. Okay, so let me see what some questions are here.
So some of them, so when they try to click on the mock exams for take-home exams, apparently some of them does require Exemplify, or it doesn't require Exemplify.
It doesn't. So they really need to make sure that it says mock for take home.
Okay.
because we did set up mock exams for Exemplify and for ExamSoft. Any other questions, Astrid, Jenny?
No, I think
If you can
Sorry.
repeat how they should save the exam file name.
So yes, so when you're saving your completed exam, so use your 4-digit exam code, so ABCD underscore extra contractual obligation underscore fall 2020 underscore query, if that's your instructor. So as long as those that information is available in your title, then it's fine. So again, make sure when you upload, it's the final version of your completed exam.
I also saw a lot of questions about this recording being shared. So I'm going to put the link in the chat box. That's where we are posting the recordings.
As well as the presentation. We'll post the presentation as well.
Yes.
Yep. I know some of you, actually a lot of you participated in on Wednesday. That recording will also be in the same link.
Oh, Georgia, you have a question?
Hi, I just was wondering, since I thought that you said that then for the workshops coming up, like the next week, that then we have to sign up for those? Like just
No, you don't have to sign up. Just whichever date and time works for you, just drop in via the link.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Simon?
Yes, thank you. I know you've mentioned a couple times now, we don't need to download Exemplify for 1L exams. That's fine. When I opened ExamSoft the first time, logged in the first time, there's an agreement that we need to agree to use the website. And it does mention we should, like we have to download upon, you know, like penalties of like academic sanctions. Do we have to download Exemplify? And it mentions that it's a laptop agreement. Could you clarify what you mean, what it means by laptop agreement, and clarify the reason why it specifies in it that we have to download Exemplify?
Okay, so this agreement, so keep in mind this is pre-COVID agreement. I mean, Nancy, I don't know, did you want to weigh in?
Yeah, so we'll be, I thought we were updating the agreement, but look, it's an agreement that just basically covers that you've done the mock exam, that you've ran through using the ExamSoft. So really we want to ensure that your laptop is compatible, that you've done a mock exam, you know, that you've gone through the regulations and that you're ready for an exam, just to cover all bases to make sure you've done it, as well as you know, just to reinforce that academic integrity again.
And is there a reason why it's called a laptop agreement? Like, I'm just confused if you're not on a laptop, is that like, just clarify the language?
Yeah, it's fine. It's just, you know, again, it's used specifically when we were more on campus, but it just means that you're doing an exam electronically. We can update the wording.
So there's a question here about, are all exams going to be Word document? Again, if on the cover, on the exam questionnaire cover page, if your instructor requests a PDF, please upload a PDF document. Otherwise, default is Word document.
My understanding is, yes, I believe you do have to redo the academic integrity, even though you may have done it in a previous McGill program. So you should be using the faculty standard exam cover page that's available on the website when submitting or writing your exam, yes. And again, make sure you're not in your exam indicating your ID number or your name anywhere on the document. You respond by just indicating your anonymous exam code. So they're asking about once they go into ExamSoft and download the exam questionnaire, I believe it is a PDF document.
It is, correct. Thank you for sharing the standard cover page link, Ginny. Go ahead,
Any
Anna.
other questions?
I think Anna has a question.
I don't understand the question. It's, will our actual exams be PDFs too? Will we need to export them to Word documents?
So Hannah, can you clarify?
Yeah, you said that the mock exams were PDFs, so you can't, someone in the chat said you can't write on them, which would mean that we would have to export them to Word documents to then upload if those are the standards. So I'm just wondering if our actual exams, so during the exam period, will those be Word documents or will those be PDFs that we then have to export into Word documents?
So for 1Ls, what you're doing is you're downloading the questionnaire from ExamSoft, and then you will write your exam in a Word document. So you're not responding back on the exam questionnaire. You're going to write your answers in a Word document and then upload them back to ExamSoft. Exemplify is different. So Exemplify is you're writing in the software. And it looks kind of like, it's like a word processor, if you will. And so you'll have blank pages that you will type your responses to. And you can toggle back and forth from the PDF questionnaire back to your ExamSoft, Exemplify, lack of a better word, exam booklet, electronic exam booklet. Don't know if that is clearer.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so just to clarify for 1L exams, you do need a cover page that clearly indicates your exam code and the exam you're doing. But you do not write, you do not respond back directly on the exam questionnaire. And that's really for any take-home exam. You do not respond directly on the questionnaire. It's a separate document.
Someone has a raised hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think what we're confused about is like when we write our Word document, are we responsible for having the questions directly on our Word document? Like, so we don't need the questions, our Word document is just our answer?
Correct.
Correct.
Thank you.
You do have to identify. So if there are 5 questions that you need to respond to, start with, question 1, here's my answer. Question 2, here's my answer.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I think somebody is included where you can find the cover page. Just if you look a little higher up, there is a link to the cover page.
We have 2 participants.
On the cover page, you indicate your final exam code, not your McGill ID number or your name. You only identify yourself by your exam code, your final exam code.
Carla, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna, I don't know if Carla wants to speak about this, but I think if you've completed the academic integrity tutorial in your undergrad, you don't have to redo. Is that right, Nancy?
So we'll, that's not my understanding, but we'll certainly
Okay.
we'll look into it and send out an email in response. We'll
Okay.
find out. Yeah, so we'll probably aim to have the recording up, if possible, later today, if not Monday. Any other questions? I don't know, Josie, you had a couple of other slides you wanted to show. I think there was.
Yeah, sure. Just,
Always make sure you're keeping track of the SAO emails. So what we're doing for exam information, we're not sending the exam. Oh, we will be sending standalone exam emails out through the student listserv. We're not going to only have the information posted in the weekly ask. So anytime we send an update or want to draw your attention to specific important exam information, we will send out a standalone email, and in the subject line, we'll make it very clear that it's an important exam information that you should avail yourself to.
okay, so if anybody has any other questions, either in the chat or raise your hand.
Just to clarify, Josie, final exam codes are alpha?
Yes, alpha.
So don't use your midterm, which is numeric.
Correct. Oh, there's more questions.
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted you to reiterate because I kind of missed it in all the info that's going on. So the cover page for the final is the same standard cover page that we use for all our essays and everything we've done so far, right? Like the same one that I've used for integration tutorial, everything. And instead of our student ID, we put our exam code. That's the only difference. Or do we still put our student ID on it?
No, you don't.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, it's the same one. You just indicate your only identifier is your final exam code.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you can log into ExamSoft as many times as you want. There's no limit, or rather it's unlimited. You could log in for this exam session, your McGill ID and the fall 2020 exam code, final exam code will give you access to ExamSoft. Yes, we do recommend that once you've downloaded your exam and saved it in a safe place, that you log out of ExamSoft, you go work on your exam. Once it's ready to be uploaded, log back into ExamSoft to upload. It's just the system works better if you log out as opposed to if it just times out. You may have difficulties logging back in if the software times out.
So just to reiterate for graduate students, the exam code will start with GR. So GR and then the 4 letters for your exam code. And then the password is the same. It's law, GR, and what your alpha exam code is.
Correct. Donc, pour les sessions de la semaine prochaine, elles sont tous pareilles. Par contre, nous avons décidé de les séparer. Donc, nous avons des sessions pour les étudiants en première année, les sessions pour les étudiants qui sont upper years et évidemment des sessions pour les étudiants qui poursuivent leur LLM. Mais elles sont tous pareilles. Donc, moi-même, ma collègue Astrid et mon collègue Nabil, nous serons, we will administer these exam clinics with you, but they will all be the same, just different, obviously targeted to different groups, whether you're first year, upper year, or a graduate student. Okay, so I just answered Hannah's question about logging out of exam. Clear? Unless there was another question. Oui, donc si vous devez seulement assister à une seule séance d'information pour les de première année.
Maybe you want to go up back to the screen that you had the session dates.
Oh, yes. Here you go. Si par hasard aucune date vous convient, s'il vous plaît, écrivez-nous un courriel sao.law, puis on pourra organiser un moment où est-ce que on peut, we can walk you through a mock exam.
Yeah, so just to reiterate, if none of these dates suit you, please send us an email and we're happy to do a one-on-one if that's more convenient.
So the date.
Yeah, there are separate clinics for LLM students. Just go to the website and you'll be able to see what those dates are.
Correct, as well as upper year.
Ginny, can you put the link in the chat? I think that's it, Josie. So, so thank you all for taking the time and joining us and going through. It's a lot of information. We do realize that. But again, you know, I strongly encourage you to sign up for one of the exam clinics so you have the opportunity to walk through with a staff member and just, you know, to make sure everything is working. And again, we'll make both the PowerPoint and the recording available as soon as we can. And if you do get a chance, you know, take a look at the ask every once in a while. We do send it out every week, and we've been doing a little bit of photo challenge just to try and connect with the community. And the next challenge is Show Your McGill Law Spirit. And we do have prizes.
Yeah, so yeah, the McGill Law Spirit Challenge. So deadline is next Friday, November 27. So send us your photos. Here we have Nancy's dog, Jemmy, and Victoria's cat, who are sporting McGill swag.
So we wish you all well. Good luck on your exams. And please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Nancy, do you want us to stay in or should I end the meeting?
You can end the meeting.
Perfect.
But I think
Oh,
I'm,
no.
I think
I
I'm,
wanted to
am I
mention-
co-host?
uh,
Sorry, go ahead, Leanne.
Well, I don't want to mention it yet. I just wanted to bring something up.
You want to stop the recording?
Oh, yeah.